What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Dirty Boots. In this one, I just got done setting up the tent pretty quick and got the chair, the table, the airbed, a couple other little things in here, and I'm just kind of tossing everything that I can in here that I'm going to need at least right now. Because we got a rainstorm that's about to hit. It's getting windy, it's starting to mist up and starting to kind of sprinkle a little bit now and again. So I threw the tent up as quick as I could. I had to stake it down, and it was trying to blow away as I was staking it. But I got the rain fly on, got everything all kind of situated and strapped down, got it all staked down. So I'm gonna finish unloading some stuff here, bring it on in, and tonight I'm just gonna be doing a solo camp out. See what this storm does, because it wasn't supposed to really storm a whole lot more than just this afternoon, and then it moved on to starting to storm tonight, or the storm was going to start tonight, and it's supposed to go all the way into tomorrow and maybe into tomorrow night. So depending on what it looks like when I wake up, I might be stuck in the tent for the day, which I have the availability to do if I need to. Can't go run chainsaws too well in the pouring down rain, so that's on a question for in the morning. But for tonight, we're gonna just set up a little. I'm gonna set up my little airbed, my backpacking airbed. I got my little table and a nice little chair here, but it's gonna be a pretty simple night. A subscriber reached out to me, and it was actually Martin Trucking. He's a badass guy. And he decided that after seeing my couple Sopaco, oh, there's the wind. Yeah, it's starting to blow pretty good. Might have to shut the door. After seeing my Sopaco MRE reviews there, he wanted to throw me a bit of a curveball to review. So he sent me a Russian MRE. It's big. The box alone is probably 12 inches tall or so, but it has a carrying handle. It's a big old thing here. But all the writing on it is in Russian, and I don't translate anything. So it's going to be kind of a blind test in a way. Unless there's something inside that's in English, I'm not going to have a clue what I'm doing here. So it could be interesting. Either way, we're going to break this open here in a little bit. I'm going to line it all out onto the table, show you guys what all the contents are inside, and try to figure out how to cook it. I'm not sure what it has. I've watched a couple YouTube videos on these just to kind of get a little bit of an idea of what might be inside. Some of them take water and like heat up, kind of like the Sapacos or regular military meals with a little heater that's activated by water. And then I've seen some that you light a little cube, like a little fire cube thing, and you put it on a little like 3-armed little set on top little stove and use like a tuna fish can that all the meals come in to cook in. I have no idea what I'm in for here. So this should be fun. Gonna open this up here in a little bit. But before it starts sprinkling and raining, actually, I'm gonna get the rest of what I need into the tent. Get some lighting set up so I'm not really having to go in and out a whole bunch after it starts raining, because once it starts, I'm probably just going to kind of hole up in here, and we'll see how the evening goes. But yeah, so Russian MRE for dinner, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this is a 24-hour ration, meaning it's got everything that I need to go to keep my body up to whatever, 2,000 calories a day or whatever. It supposedly has, I think this is one of the 24-hour ones that has everything that I need for basically 3 small meals. Probably has, I don't know, we'll see. I have no idea. I'm hoping that it has some really fun things in it, though, that are going to kind of make this entertaining, especially if there's no English writing. It's going to be cool. So, thanks Martin Trucking for sending this out to me. It is definitely appreciated, and yeah, I wasn't gonna just do this in my living room on the table like I did the Sopaco meals. I wanted to be outdoors doing something a little random, and I was, not sure exactly what to do. and I saw a rainstorm coming in. Might be our last little rainstorm for a little bit, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna set the tent up, do a little rainstorm solo camp out, and I'm gonna take that Russian MRE and see what happens. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a cool little overnight, and I'm gonna finish getting everything thrown in the tent that I need, get the airbed pumped up, blown up, and we'll be touching base here in a little bit. So, all right. So got my airbed set up, got my sleeping bag in here, and I want to open up this MRE to see what my contents are, to see what I got to look forward to here. Holy cow. Okay. Big old cardboard box. How do we open it? What in the heck? No. We're just going to do it this way. No. Work smarter, not harder. Holy cow. Okay. Clear off the table. So, we got a whole bunch of, well, they're crackers, obviously, but I cannot, there is no English on here at all. I might Google search some of these names and stuff on here to see if I can find any information that I can leave in a description below. But, alright, so we got 2 things of crackers. Nothing in English. This is a something one veg, one veg, caviar one veg is on the bottom in what I think is English. It says caviar one veg, so we'll see what that is. It's kind of crushed and just real like tinfoily. Okay, here's one of those burners that I was talking about, and this one's been used. It's totally been used. It's got stuff burnt all over it. Interesting. They repackaged it. It's definitely burnt, and it's got like the resin. I don't even know. Yeah, it's definitely been burnt on. A bug just flew in my throat. No joke at all. Oh my god. I coughed it out. Sorry about that, guys. Wow. Literally inhaled that one. So 3 packages of cracker. Oh goodness. 4 packs of crackers. Oh, okay, here we buckwheat porridge. So they are labeled on the bottom in magic and permanent marker. Buckwheat porridge. Interesting. Caviar one veg and some buckwheat porridge. A packet that I have no idea. Yep, no writing on this one at all. No English. So it's a seasoning packet of some sort. I don't know. Here. If that'll focus, is there anyone that could leave a comment below of what that might be? I'm sure I'll try it before the comment will get put up, obviously, but if any of you guys have any clue of this stuff. Alright, so there's coffee beans on the actual front of it, but it doesn't say anything that I can read. It's all in Russian. This one here actually has a Best By date of May 1st, 2021. So it's only 4 years out of date. Not bad. No idea what this is. Some kind of other... Problem is that some of these seasonings, like this one here, I don't know if I can eat it. I don't know if it's one of the seals or the packets to keep things from going stale. I'm not sure on that one. It's got a Best By date of it on it also, so maybe it is a seasoning. Not sure on this. Maybe gum. 10. It has a 10 and then APA, an X kind of letter, and then an E. So maybe 10 pieces. Kind of what I'm getting out of it. Feels about like there might be 10 in there. Maybe. I don't know. Not sure what that is. We'll open it in a minute. Some kind of seasoning packet. Oh, feels kind of like butter. I don't think it's butter. 2.5 T is the only thing I can read on that one. Little tiny packet. What is this one? Meat with beans and veg. So a meat and veg, or meat and beans and veg. And that was a buckwheat porridge. Minced sausage. So a little chew can, like tobacco chew kind of size can of minced sausage. Another pack of broken up crackers. These are my fuel things for this. It's a little, like a little waxy kind of looking candle tablet thing, and it sits right down into the dish of the little stove that's already been used. Interesting that this has already been utilized, or at least one of the tabs has been burnt, and that one's already burnt. Kind of surprised about that, unless it's in here somewhere. Oh my goodness. The first thing that I've seen in this entire MRE, besides the magic marker writing on the back that I can read, sugar. So, a big old thing of sugar, 5 years out of date, or from its Best By date. Another thing of coffee. Another thing of sugar. Got my spoon. I'll need that. 3 little tiny pieces of tissue for like toilet paper, I'm guessing. Paper towel. Not very much there. Another seasoning packet of some sort. I'm gonna have to Google some of these and make sure that they're... Oh, this here I think is a tea. Maybe this is a tea. It's got a teacup and a little, like, teapot, but, like, very, vintage kind of look. Nothing that you'd see in today's... At least in the United States. All this stuff here could be very common in, other countries. Another thing of sugar. So we got 3 sugars. 4 sugars. They're trying to keep you hyper. No idea what this is. Yep, no English on this at all, but another little seasoning packet, or maybe a water flavor, maybe some kind of tea, I'm not sure. Here's another one of those same style tea bags, or tea packs, like what the other one is with the teapot I was talking about. Tea dispenser, more so. Knife. So I got a knife and a spoon. This here's got a picture of a pepper on it. Like a spicy hot pepper. Jalapeno or something like that. So I'm guessing that this is probably... I'm wondering if it's a really, really spicy pepper. But it might just be a black pepper. This here's like the consistency of like a ketchup packet. But it's large. It's, you know, 3 inches tall probably. It's pretty good size. And it's got a picture of an apple on it. Cut up, sliced up. So I'm thinking that's applesauce. Another packet of some kind of powder substance. Yeah, no, it's not liquid. It's powder. but it's very dense. Like, there's a lot of it, as much as they put in this packet, it feels like. Some air at the top, but it's very, very full and dense. No English whatsoever on here, so either a seasoning or a tea. Another one of the same little packets I pulled out earlier, no English, but just here's both of them side by side, they're the same thing. So 2 of those, that, some tea, this packet here that has nothing that I can read on it, 4 sugars, another packet, I think I already had one of these in here, yep, so I got 2 of these, not sure, at all what those are going to be. What do we got here? Oh, that's going to be interesting to try. It looks like it's a pudding. Yeah, it's like a chocolate bar, like Nutella, or like a Nutella spread, maybe. Like that kind of chocolatey, peanut butter kind of stuff. That's kind of what the consistency looks like through the thing, through the side, even though it's kind of cracked. Lovely. Should still be alright though, right? Probably. But yeah, and then it's got like chocolate and like a peanut butter kind of toast picture on the top. And it's like a peelable top, like the little single serve cups of pudding. Here's another one of those things that I already pulled out earlier. Another thing, like a little packet I pulled out earlier. Little packet I pulled out earlier. And then another one of what I just threw down right here. The little yellow powder tabs. Those are all dry contents. There's only a couple of those that have a liquid in them. Oh, we got a... So here's a contents menu, I guess, of what all is in here. I wonder if I can find something online that I can take a picture of this and see if it'll translate. I'm going to do that real quick and just kind of have an idea. But otherwise, it's looking like the way of heating things here. What was that again? Caviar plus veg. Not sure what that's going to be. Yeah, it's looking like I got minced sausage, meat and beans and veggie, and buckwheat porridge for my 3 main meals with caviar veg, maybe as a topper. Crackers. That's probably what the spread here is for, the little Nutella kind of looking spread. So I'm going to take a picture or try to Google up some of these, what this menu thing is. The thing I'm kind of worried and disappointed about is that I have to make this over the little fuel tabs, and there's only 2 fuel tabs. And yeah, the box is now empty. There's nothing else in there. Yeah, they gave me 2 fuel tabs and kind of a lot of food here to cook, and it's windy as hell. Like, I don't know if you're able to see the tent blowing behind me or not. I kind of tried to get the door out of the way here, and it blew back untied on the bottom. So I'm gonna try to maybe find some wind block or something and a place to do this. I do also have my little cook stove and I think a frying pan maybe, so I might end up trying to just heat this in the frying pan if I can't get one of these to burn, and do it on my cook stove. And I mean, I'm gonna eat all the food. I'm just not sure with this wind, and if it starts pouring, I might just set my little cook stove up on this table right outside the tent and just try to do that. Because I'm not going to burn these in the tent. And this wind is... It's weird. It's like the calm before the storm, but then the storm approaches. And then it dies out for a minute or two, 5 minutes, and kind of just calm. So I might be able to get them to go. I'm not ready to eat right now. It's still 2 hours before dark, hour and a half before dark. I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a unboxing here and see what I was actually looking at for my meal. And yeah, I'm kind of excited though. Meat and beans and veg and some buckwheat porridge. I also brought a few snacks and I think a pack of cookies or something like that. Not from this. But I'm probably going to end up eating all this tonight. Or, you know, late lunch and then tonight. I'm just not sure how I'm going to heat it up yet. So, let me go and figure out a game plan here. See if I can get a little wind block together so I can at least do this with these. And then I guess you just set that right on there. Open it up, stir it. I don't know. That doesn't seem right. I mean, it's right, but we'll see. So, we'll be back here in a little bit when I decide to throw these on some heat of some sort. I'm thinking of just doing the fry pan and the gas 1 stove just because it would kind of eliminate for open flame, which where I'm at right now, it is just out of winter, so I'm not too worried. But at the same time, as a firefighter, I'm kind of like, you know, over aware of these things. So I probably will just break out the gas 1 stove and not do an open flame with this and the fire tabs. I am in my backyard and not at a campground that's all completely, you know, fire pits and stuff like that I could go and use. I'm in my grassy backyard. So, that being said, I think I am just going to set up my table, my gas 1 stove. I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to do that. Play it safe. But either way, I'm going to enjoy this food, and we'll touch base here in a little bit. And I saw this on this apple stuff. Might be an apple jelly for the crackers. That might not be an apple sauce. That might be an apple jelly. I bet you that's what it is. Either way, it's apple, so I'll put it on some crackers here in a little bit. Alright. Alright, so just wanted to give you guys a little update here. And I spent about 45 minutes or so pretty much translating everything that's on the table here. So, regular saltine crackers was kind of the best description I could get from these, and that's what they look like, so I took it. These say sugar. Looked up the other thing. It's basically just I think it was 4 tablespoons each packet. Sugar, regular white sugar. These two are black teas. These two here are peach water flavors. You add one of these to a canteen of water, it said, for peach flavor. Apple jam spread. These 3 here are moist towelettes for your hands. This is a tomato sauce, pepper sauce, I think it was. A pepper sauce, tomato sauce. Tomato sauce with pepper. I don't know. The little thing that I said looked like Nutella. I could not get a translation of any of the words except for extract. Or exact. Or I think it was exact or extract, depending on which way I showed the picture of it. So, not sure. We're going to try that on a cracker here in a little bit. These are salt. So, 2 pretty big packets of salt. The little white packet is a pepper. It said ground black and then pepper. Creamer, or these 4 here. Coffee on these 2. And then this here is chewing gum. Let's actually try one of these. Let's just see how it is. We'll open up one of these. It said, I think it was mint chewing gum. That's what it said. No, they're not all stuck together. They're all solid. No smell. A little bit of maybe like a spearmint smell, but very, very light. Well, alright. At first, the texture is like a mint, like it just kind of crunches, it doesn't chew. But after it gets wet from some saliva, yeah, that's like a good piece of spearmint chewing gum. That ain't too bad. I think there's 6 or 10 of them in there. 10. Yeah, looks like about 10. 4, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 10. I'm going to chew on this, and I'm going to cook some food here in a few minutes. I'm just kind of getting set up. But I just wanted to give you guys a little update on what all's in the MRE here, as far as once I figured out what it was in English. Kind of helpful. Alright, we'll talk to you guys here in a bit. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, just wanted to give you guys a little update. So I pulled out a little table from my place here, and I set up the gas 1 stove. That there has been my tripod for the GoPro. And inside the tent, got my airbed set up. Chair. My table. And this here is Ozark Trail, maybe, I think. Walmart. It's one of their little mess kits. And it has a little bowl plate kind of thing, deep plate. And it's got a little pot with a lid and a handle. And then it's got a frying pan where the part that goes over everything to hold it shut is actually the handle for cooking with. But here in a minute, I'm gonna make, which one is this? Meat with beans and veg. And I think that whole little container there will fit pretty well in this pot. And I'll set it out there on the gas 1 stove and give it some heat. I've never used this little Ozark Trail. I think it was a 8-piece. It came with a couple cups, I think, as well. I don't know what happened to those. I never used them. I've never used this kit. I bought it and threw it in a plastic ammo can. It's just kind of a go container that I threw in my car for 2 years straight and just left it in there with a little backpacking stove. Never pulled it out, never used it. Here it sits. And I actually found it the other day while going through camping gear and thought about it tonight. And I was like, you know what? It's too windy to use the open flame little heater that the MRE actually came with. So I'm going to use the gas 1 stove, and I probably could set this right on the gas 1 stove, but this feels so thin. It's like literally like I can just like smush it, like bend it without any effort. It's so thin. I don't know about putting it on an open flame without it just burning through. So I figured I might as well give this set a try. This cost, this entire little setup here, plus the 2 cups that I told you about, it was, I want to say $8, $9, something like that. Very, very affordable. So we'll see how it does. I mean, it's definitely not made well. It's, you know, very bendable, and, you know, it's not a... It ain't quality. But it's affordable. And for this, it's going to work great, because I don't want to have just one of those flame cubes that the MRE came with out burning. So I'm at least just going to use my gas 1 stove in this and see where we get to. So just letting you see this little setup and what I plan to do and where I plan to stay the night tonight. It's definitely been windy. It hasn't been too... It hasn't rained yet. It's misted and kind of gotten dark and stormy for a minute, and then it lets up. But earlier this morning, it was saying like 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. is when it was supposed to start. And now they're saying like 9 or 10 tonight. And it's almost dark now. It's like 7:45, 8 o'clock. So I'm going to probably let it get dark. I'm not quite ready to eat yet for whatever reason. But I'm going to just kind of relax, kick back. I set up a light. That's what that is. And got it hanging off the top. And I'm going to go get a couple power banks and get those all ready to go. I got one out here. But just kind of, you know, waiting on the rain. But at the same time, it's definitely windy. So it's kind of nice to have just chilling for a minute. But other than that, nothing else really going on. We'll talk back here in a minute. Thanks. Alright, so it just started raining. And so I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of food heated up here and so I can give it a try. I am starting to get a little hungry, and instead of waiting half an hour until I'm really hungry and it actually being raining, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of food going now. So, got my little pot here that I mentioned a little bit ago. And I got my spoon that came with the MRE. And I'm going to open this thing up. This is the meat and beans and veggies. So, just kind of maybe peel the corner. Very non-traditional from what I'm used to on any kind of foods in the States. It's like glued, like you can see like actual glue holding it on. There we go, maybe. Yeah, it's actually like glued on. You can like see the glue around the seal, or around the seal. Around the edges, it's all glued. Alright, so it just kind of tore there, but I can at least now scoop it out into my pot here. Alright, so I will definitely do a close-up of this here in a second, but there's what looks to be like actual chunks of some meats and lots of beans, like a nice red bean. The smell on it, even though, yeah, it's cold and everything, but the smell on it is kind of like corned beef hash, is the smell I'm getting off of it on the first, like, initial. Corned beef hash with, like, it smells like corned beef hash and tomato sauce. Like, that's the best I could do to describe what it actually is smelling like here. There's quite a bit in this little container, though. Not bad. Anyway, here. I'm going to actually come grab the camera and bring you over here so you're under the light a little bit. I'm just kind of spreading it out so you can see. Let's give you a little close-up here, though. Oh, it's actually starting to rain now. So there's some meat and beans. And, yeah, it just started actually raining. So, I'm going to grab a couple things and go out and get this warmed up. I don't really want to take the camera out. It just actually started raining, not sprinkling. It was just sprinkling. We'll touch base here in a minute. I might just go ahead and heat this up without the camera. I don't have my chest mount or anything with me right now. Unprepared. Touch base in a minute. Alright, just a little update here. Using this little pot. I don't want to stir this too much because it's wanting to slide off. But just kind of giving it a little stir, using the spoon that came with the MRE. And just kind of doing it on the gas one stove here. So it's getting some heat to it, and I'm just going to stir it around until it's nice and hot. And then take it in, and this here's looking like it's going to be pretty good if I dip one of those crackers in it that came with the MRE. So just letting this take a little bit of heat. Try not to lose it off the side, and we'll touch base here in a few minutes. I just want to show that I'm heating it up on the gas one. It's doing alright. It smells good. It smells really good, actually. But, yeah, we'll see you here in a minute. Alright, so I turned down the temp just to a real low. And it's been sitting in here for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes now. Probably about 5 minutes. Just real low. And Just been stirring it pretty much constantly because I don't know how well it's going to not stick to the bottom of these cheap pans. Doesn't seem like it's wanting to stick too bad, but there's been a couple places where it's just, there's definitely caked on stuff already. So just keeping it stirring. I'm going to take it off here in a minute and go take it in the tent and eat, because it's definitely starting to get wet out. Table and everything else is starting to get sprinkly and wet. And I don't have a jacket on me, so my back, because I'm bent over with this thing, is getting wet as well. So I'm going to go inside the tent here in a minute with this pot of food, and I will touch base before I take my first bite. I also don't know how hot it's going to actually be to the temperature wise, because I haven't tasted it. I wanted to wait till you guys saw it. So we'll see. Alright, touch base in a minute. Alright, so I just came in just a minute after I talked to you last time, and I hope you can see me alright with the light I got in here with just one of the USB powered LED lights. That's all I got on hand, but it doesn't look bad at all. It honestly looks kind of like a chili. I'll bring you in for a close-up before I dig in. Looks kind of like a beans and chili. Some could say it doesn't look great, but no, it doesn't look bad. And you can see the steam coming off it. But yeah, it looks pretty much just like a chili with some beef sauce kind of stuff. But I'm going to give it a try. It doesn't smell bad at all. It smells pretty good, actually. This was meat with beans and veg. That's all it said. So, I'm going to give it a try here. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Nah. It just started raining. I'm going to have to go grab the gas one stove and bring it in. Hold on. It started raining pretty good. I don't want to get wet. Already wet. Soaking wet. It just started raining good. This will also be the first night I've spent in this tent in the rain. And granted, I got the rain fly on it, but we'll see if it holds up, or if I end up with leaky wet seams everywhere and through the roof. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about trying my beans and meat and veg sauce here. Russian MRE. Much appreciated Martin Truckin' for giving this to the channel, to give it to me to review on the channel. It's definitely not something that I would have thought that I would have been getting my hands on to review, so that's pretty cool. I don't take anything away from that at all. I think that's just a bonus. So definitely look forward to seeing what a couple of these other things in this packs actually taste like, see what they are. But for right now, I'm going to have a few bites and then put some on a cracker after that. It's hot. It's definitely, this thing here definitely got it pretty hot in this little pot. But, oh, and I don't have the pot right on the plastic table. I brought little metal pot holder thing out from the house just because I didn't want to melt through my nice CAMPOUT table. Actually this table is what I use my Blackstone on a lot of times. but it's working great in here tonight because it's nice and small. That ain't bad at all. That's got some good flavor. I don't like a lot of salt in my meals, so I actually put the salt away already into the main blue bag that the MRE came in. But I wanted to keep out the pepper, because I do like a little pepper flavor in foods. I don't go overkill with it, but yeah, this smells really fresh, actually. Surprisingly. But it's just a crushed black pepper, I believe is what the translation said when I looked it up there. But I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this. Not very... Yeah, it's actually kind of a big flaky... Not real big, but bigger than just a really, really fine black pepper. But I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that here on just a portion of it. Mix it around a little bit right here in the side. See how it is with the little pepper. The salt's not overkill by any means. I mean, if I wanted to add a little salt to it, it wouldn't even be, you know... I could add a little salt to this without a problem. I just don't like my food super salty. But I'm going to take a bite here with some black pepper and see how it is. Honestly, those last couple bites were pretty salty, just with... Not from the pepper. Not from the pepper. But those last two bites were, had a little bit more of the actual, like, juices and the salt from the package, the actual meal. But yeah, it's actually got quite a high salt content. So, and there's a little bit of, like, a shredded beef kind of meat in here. It's kind of mixed in next to the beans and with in some of the juices, but it's like a shredded beef kind of. Yeah, pulled pork, shredded beef, kind of just a. I got a piece of it in my mouth right now, and it's yeah, it's stringy. It's a kind of a stringy pulled pork kind of pulled beef kind of flavor. It's not beef or pork. It's one of those, but it's not strong on any kind of flavor. Here they are. Let's put one of these on a cracker. See if we can find a cracker in here that ain't... I'm just gonna have to probably crumble some cracker up into here, because these crackers are all completely broken. Every one of them's broke in one way or another. Corners, halves, broken half, completely just crumbled. I'm gonna take a bite of one, a piece of one, to make sure it's something I want in my food. There we go. Nice little piece of cracker there. Let's see how this is. Nope. That's very, very, very stale. No. Nope. I will not eat another bite of that cracker. Go back and look at, if you're new to the channel, go look at actually it was my first YouTube video. It was a Sopaco MRE. If you see the part in the video about the Pop-Tart, these crackers are at the exact same level of how terrible those Pop-Tarts were. I don't know if I would take another bite of those crackers. Those are terrible. Like, absolute stale, just leaves a taste in your mouth you don't want. So, I'm going to take another bite of this beans and meat with a little bit of veg. I think the veg that they're talking about, there's like little tiny bits of like carrot like these little orange, like, vegetable chunks. Very tiny. Like the size of a BB. Like a metal BB kind of size. But they're just these little orange chunks. And yeah, I could kind of get a flavor of carrot throughout it. Definitely not like an orange pepper or anything, you know, even like an orange bell pepper, nothing like that. It's like a little carrot kind of flavor. So I guess that's the veg that they're talking about. I'm going to add a little bit more of the black pepper. Mix this around. And I think tomorrow morning, I'll of course wash this pot out first. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to heat up a little pot of water. And I'm going to make a cup of that coffee with some of the creamer and some of the sugar that it came with. And we'll see how some Russian MRE coffee is. I'm not opposed to a good cup of coffee or two in the morning, so we'll see how it is for the first cup of coffee in the morning. See if it's caffeinated well, see if it's got any flavor to it, or see if it's one of those where I make it, take 2 sips and pour it out because it has no flavor. Otherwise, I'm going to enjoy this, and here in a little bit, it's actually raining pretty good right now. Not storming hard, but for what we've seen in the last month or so, I'll take this shower. But if it stops raining another hour or so, I'm going to go out and I will make up the other container that came in that MRE. But tomorrow, either morning or afternoon after work, if it doesn't rain all day, I'll make up that other one, and I think I'm probably going to end up making this a 2-nighter. Not all for the MRE, but just because it'll be a good little adventure. Why not? So, I'm going to finish this up for sure. It's not bad at all. And we'll touch base here in a little bit. I'm going to kick back and finish blowing up the rest of my airbed. And other than that, eat a little bit of this. Those crackers are terrible, and I was really wanting to put some of that apple jelly, that apple jam on it. And same with the Nutella. I don't know what to do about that. That's a problem. What's going on? Well, it's been about an hour and a half now since I last talked to you guys, and I've just been sitting here watching YouTube on my phone. But, I was kind of hoping the rain would let up a little bit so I could take the stove back outside and cook up one of those other cans of meat or food or whatever out of the MRE. And it's just kind of been a heavy, kind of not even a sprinkle, more than a sprinkle, just kind of a constant rain for the last hour straight. Wind kind of let up a little bit, so the tent stopped blowing around as much on the walls, but all the walls are pretty getting damp. Not quite wet, but yeah, they're getting damp. They're not bad. They're not wet. But what's going on? So last night, my battery went dead. It died on me in the camera there when I was recording, and I put my other battery in, and it said it was at 95%, and then it dropped down to 30% within... I hadn't even started recording yet, and it was at 30%, and then I went to hit record, and it dropped to 20% and died. So I stuck both batteries on the power bank charger to get charged back up to keep filming, and I got cold, crawled in my slim bag, was like, alright, whatever, I'll film here in an hour or whenever the battery's finished, and I woke up to some heavier rain. I don't think I woke up throughout the night. I slept like a baby last night, and I have no idea why. I just passed out, and I was cold. I was cold to start off with, but I woke up at one point kind of hungry just because I didn't really eat a ton last night. I ate a little bit more, just some snacks and stuff that I brought. Right before I crawled in my sleeping bag there while I was waiting for the camera to get some charge. I wanted to keep filming and everything last night just as far as some updates, but it never let up on the rain enough for... sorry, rubbing the sleepy out of my eye. It never really let up a whole lot last night throughout the night of rain. Even as far as I know, I don't think it let up until this morning. But I was gonna take this out in the stove here. It's just setting. I got it all close right next to me. I was just gonna take the stove back out if it stopped raining last night, and I was gonna cook up a little bit more food. But instead, I think I'm just gonna grab a couple paper towels here and some water and wipe out this pot and make some coffee here in a few minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. I just put my boots on. I don't even know what time it is. Haven't looked. Don't care. It's early. Birds are going off because it stopped raining. Blue jay there. Anyway, I'm gonna wake up a little bit, try to figure out what I'm doing, but it's looking like it's gonna rain throughout the day off and on, so I think I'm gonna carry out this video and make it a two-nighter. I got my other battery right now on the charger so that hopefully tonight I can have full battery to get me through both, today and tonight. I'll keep them charging on the power bank just to keep going. If you guys can recommend any, I have a GoPro Hero 10 Black. If any of you guys have any experience with other brands of batteries that are good, other than the GoPro brand, the GoPro Enduro or whatever it is, I think that's the ones I'm using. If you know of any of the other brands, Amazon brands or whatever, cheaper brands that do just as good or better, I mean, I'm getting decent record time, but then there's times where my battery says it's fully charged, and like last night, very frustrating that within a minute, 2 minutes, it's completely dead. The battery that I was running when it actually died, I mean, I had been running on that battery for probably 45 minutes total record time. So, that's okay. That's not terrible. But the one that put it in there and within 3 minutes it completely died, I can't be having that and relying on it. And that being a GoPro battery, yeah, 3 years old, 2 years old now. So, I mean, that's a thing. I understand that. But if any of you can recommend any batteries that are, really good for the price, let me know. Throw it down in the comments, and I'd appreciate it. I'll definitely give some of you guys the chance to, help me out on this one, because I don't have a clue on any of those other brands of batteries and stuff like that. If it was up to me, I'd stick with GoPro, because to me that's supposed to be, kind of the best. It's what's made for these cameras. But like I said, GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition. If you know of anything accessory wise that is just awesome that you've never could live without now that you've tried it, let me know. I'm totally down to check out some new things for it. Help me out on this journey. But yeah, so I'm gonna wake up here for a few minutes. I'm like when you're camping, you just wake up groggy some mornings, even if you get a good night of sleep. So I'm gonna wake up here and probably go make a cup of coffee here in a little bit on the stove outside. That MRE coffee and creamer with some sugar. See how that does for me for starting the day off. And I don't think I want to try any more of those crackers. Those things left a taste in my mouth that was kind of there. Even after I was done eating all the meat and beans last night for dinner, those crackers were just so stale that it just left a taste. So I'm probably just going to eat the apple jam by itself. I don't know what else to put it on that came with the MRE, and I'm not really trying to add any outside products to the MRE. So I might just try the apple jam on its own little lunch thing here. And yeah, I'll pull out some more of those MRE, like the actual tins of foods. I don't remember what I got. I got a caviar and some kind of sausage thing, I think. So we'll make one of those up for lunch, and I think I'm going to stay the night out here again tonight, even though it's kind of supposed to let up as far as rain later this afternoon. Whatever, I'll stay out here again. I'm set up. So I'll eat one of the things that I got in the MRE for lunch and eat one for dinner. And who knows, maybe I'll put something else together tonight just as a filler. But for right now, I'm going to go wake up and take a piss. So, thanks. What's going on? So, it's been raining all damn day. I've just kind of been dinking around, took my dog for a couple walks in the breaks of it, and just kind of sat around the tent all day watching YouTube. There's a puddle in the tent. I don't know if you can see that, but it's leaking through the bottom zipper of my door and just running in here. So I'm gonna have to go grab some towels or something to get that dried up, because every time I go in and out, it's just, I'm having to hop over a puddle. But I was sitting here and I was like, alright, well, the rain's kind of letting off a little bit, so I might try to go out and cook up another one of these dishes, one of these meals that came in the MRE. But I'm not going to waste this apple jam by trying it on one of those crackers. Those crackers are absolutely terrible. I'm not even going to attempt that. But I am going to just at least give this a try. So I've kind of just been smushing it all around to get all the different parts of the applesauce kind of mixed together. Because it's got kind of like chunked together in parts of it. I don't know if it's the sugars or the fruit parts or what. But I'm going to just kind of slurp it out of here. And that's... You can't really... Well, maybe you can read it. If you can read that, let me know. If you can translate... Cool. I'll appreciate it. But from what I saw in my translation lookups, the best I got was apple jam. And that's probably what it is. Ooh, that's sweet. Kind of an apple jam. That's not too bad. I kind of wish that those crackers were not stale, but I think that one of those crackers right now would ruin the whole palette of flavors that I'm getting off of this. I think it would just be a stale, soggy cracker. I don't even think I'd get the apple flavor. Those crackers are absolutely terrible. Those crackers go in the same box as the Sopaco Pop-Tart. Not edible. This year, I'm going to eat this little packet of applesauce, apple jelly. It's sweet. It's too sweet. Like, even if that was spread out on some toast, actually what that needs, and it would probably be pretty good, is a piece of bread toasted with butter. Because the butter would cut down on the saltiness of the butter would go really well in here with the sweetness. Otherwise, this here is pretty damn sweet. It's cold. Put my hat on for a little bit earlier, my regular cap. My ears and neck aren't used to the haircut yet. I got a haircut a couple weeks ago there. Went from 3 months of hair growth to my summertime firefighter cut. And my ears and neck are cold. Not used to it yet. We'll get there. One last little bit of this. It's starting to get stormy again. Damn. This is what it's been doing all day. It'll let up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. About the time I'm ready to kind of get my hunger up there, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go out and heat up another pan of this, whatever the meat or the meal is from the MRE. I'm ready to go out and heat it up again, and as soon as I get ready, it just starts pouring, or this wind. And you can see the tents blowing around behind me. It hasn't been pleasant. Whatever. I got some apple jam in me. I'm good for a minute. Right? No, I'm not. I'm hungry. I just don't want to try using this gas one stove in here, really. It's not recommended. It's not safe, and I'm not going to promote that usage. So instead, I'm going to give it... I'm trying to find my phone. Table. Yeah, it's 20 minutes, half hour till dark. Till actual dark. I never made any coffee this morning either. But I am going to stay out here again tonight. And, see how cold and wet it gets tonight. There's wetness all through the sides of this tent. I wonder if my sleeping bag's wet. No, sleeping bag doesn't feel wet. Too wet at least. It's up against the wall though, which I don't like. Yeah, it's damp. It's not wet though. It's wet in the air. The condensation in here is pretty up and pretty high, especially with me in here talking and breathing. With everything shut up, I haven't been able to open up my sides because the sides of the tent, they're just wet. Like, it's wet. Yeah, I can... and it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's kind of like it was last night when the video ended, actually. I just remembered that. I was talking about, I think, that when the video cut out on me last night when my battery died, I think I was talking about the tent, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna hang out for the night in here, I think, and probably go stick some food here in this little frying pan, or I'll go wash out this pot again. And I'll try to heat up some food here in a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to film it because it might be dark by the time the rain stops, but I'm kind of getting hungry, and I definitely want to try these other two meals. We got buckwheat porridge, caviar and veg, and minced sausage. So what I was thinking about doing is mixing if you look, the minced sausage and the caviar veg, they're like tuna can size. They're not very big. They're just little kind of little containers compared to at least the buckwheat porridge. It's a little bit bigger. This way is about the size of like a can of sardines, but a can of sardines is only about that wide, so it's 1.5 cans of sardines kind of size can. These here though are like tuna fish cans. So I think I'm gonna mix these two, the minced sausage and the caviar and veg. I'm gonna mix those together, make one meal or one little pot of food out of that, and then one out of the porridge, buckwheat porridge. So there's that, and then I don't really want to make a cup of coffee this late. I'll probably make a cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe I'll make a cup of tea later. I don't know. What else came with it? Oh, here, let's try this real quick. Hold on. I knew it came with something else. There's that Nutella thing. I'm not going to waste it on a cracker, though. I'm not putting this on a cracker. But we'll see what it is. It's... Oh, yeah. That definitely smells Nutella-y. It's kind of like crunchy, like hard looking. Where'd my spoon go? Here's my spoon from last night. It's not. Okay, this is like real. This is like actual chocolate. Like, it's kind of soft enough where I can scrape it. Here, you can kind of get a look. So I can kind of scrape it and get it on here, but it might because it's cold, but it's a lot thicker of a consistency than like peanut butter and Nutella. Nutella. Stale Nutella. It's actually, it might not even be stale. It might be more like a cocoa. It does taste kind of stale, like not super fresh chocolate. But it's not like bad. It kind of just tastes almost more like a cocoa chocolate. Like a baker's chocolate almost. It's got some sweetness for sure. More than like a regular actual baking chocolate that's just bitter kind of. It's got a little bit more sweetness than that. But it's also just kind of... I'll tell you what. I'm not really one that eats a whole lot of sweets. I'll enjoy some cookies or, you know, a little treat. But it's not like a thing where I have to have, you know, a midnight snack that's sweet. I'll go eat a second plate of dinner for my midnight snack and call it a day. I don't need, you know, a dessert necessarily. This here, this is pretty sweet. Now that I'm getting down in a little bit more, there's some sweetness to it. And it's not bad. It's kind of like almost kind of a pudding taste in a way, like a chocolate pudding, but very, very, very thick. Like it's here it is on my spoon. I can tip the spoon upside down and it doesn't fall off. But it's not the consistency of a Nutella or peanut butter or anything like sticky like that. It's actually just like if you were to take somewhat of a soft chocolate or a fudge and just where it's not wanting to just melt or fall off your spoon or whatever. It's just kind of there. I don't know. It's an interesting consistency. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to save the rest of that because, like, literally, I've been eating here on it for a few minutes. I just had to get that off my spoon. Try to. And I barely put any damage, you know, to the... Like, there's a lot in this little tub. It is so dense, and it is so compacted in there. And after us eating that packet of sweet apple jam, it actually kind of goes well with this chocolate, actually. But the sweetness of it, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. That's like sweetness overload for not having anything else to cut it. What I would think would be pretty good, though, is a spoonful of that and use it as with your spoon to stir up your coffee. That would be a really good little coffee additive flavor. Even though the MRE came with sugars and creams, a spoonful of that in there would definitely give it not an overly sweet coffee flavor or an overly sweet coffee, but it would kind of give it that chocolate, like if you add like a spoonful of Nesquik or something to your coffee, just to kind of chocolate it up a little bit. That there would be pretty good. Oh, it's cold. And yeah, temperature's definitely dropping with that wind and with the sun going down. Took my vest off earlier and just, I don't even know why, I just took it off for 20 minutes, 30 minutes there, and I was retracking my steps pretty quick there after pulling it off, and it was not the idea to come up with at the time. I don't know why I pulled it off. I was just kind of warm and got comfortable. Sun was out decently, even though it was sprinkling. I put that thing on pretty quick though. Anyway, I'm gonna sit here and wait for this rain let up. I might try to grab a flashlight here or something, or just use the light that's in the tent, just step out the door and try to heat up some more of this food. But we'll touch back here in a few minutes and see where we get to. Alright. GoPro, stop recording. What's going on? So it's actually been a few days. The rain broke that night and I went back to work for a few days, did some other things. Had a tough week in there. I ended up having to put my dog of 13 years down. And it was expected but unexpected at the same time, so it kind of just took me down for a minute. And it was kind of right in the middle of making the MRE video that it kind of needed to happen. So it's the next week. We're in the sunshine now and stuff. The tent's still sitting where I had it up last week. And I'm trying to get my mind out of the depression and all that. So we're back into recording. We're back into doing some filming. We got a plan for some upcoming things as well. That yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to really overcome some heartbreaking challenges that I'm dealing with lately. And yeah, so we're sitting here in the tent. Got the rest of the MRE sitting here that I brought out. And I thought about it. I was not really wanting to have any coffee this late in the afternoon. It's midday, 4 o'clock or so. But I am going to try some of the peach drink flavoring. So this here is just water in a 2-liter soda bottle, but it is water. And some peach flavoring. The peach flavoring, I believe, said that it was for a canteen-sized water thing of 32 ounces or so. And I got a 12-ounce cup. So I'm going to do about half to, probably about a third of the package in the cup. And see how that is. Ooh, very, very peachy flavor. Really nice flavor, actually, or smell. So, got about a third of the pack in that. Of that. Alright, let's see how this is. Some peach drink. It's supposed to be out of a canteen, but here we are. I'm going to add a little bit more of this flavoring. That's pretty watered down tasting. Add a little bit more of that to it. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. That's got a real nice, almost like a peach iced tea kind of flavor. It's definitely got kind of a tea, like a chamomile tea almost flavor with it, but it's peachy. It's very peachy. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's actually pretty refreshing. Not even just because it's water, but just it's got a really, it's not sweet. It is not a sweet drink. I mean, I think that I could even... They said that this was for a canteen, and I'm going to add pretty much half of it to that much water. Now, I mean, I didn't, well, there's some of it. But I had it filled all the way up at first. But no, it's not sweet. there is sweetness to it, but it's more of just like a really peachy kind of flavor. Anyway, it's gust and windy. Yesterday was pushing 40, 45 mile an hour winds. Gusts, not constant, but definitely was too much for me to want to come out to the tent last night and to try to cook or anything out on the fire or on the little gas one stove. But it's pretty windy today, gusting, but I'm gonna try to make up this buckwheat porridge. And even if I gotta go toss it on a plate and toss it in the microwave, I'm gonna make it because I want to stay out in the tent tonight, and this wind is just being in a wind zone like I am. It's pretty much brutal every day. So take it for what it is, I guess. It's beautiful that it keeps the temperatures in the summer down a little bit, but at the same time, it's just kind of annoying when every day is windy as hell when I'm just trying to sit in a tent. I do this a lot even before the YouTube thing. This is nothing new for me to set up a tent and camp out in my backyard or go run off to a local campground or something like that just for an overnight or 2-night little thing. But the wind is just, it gets old. This peach stuff though ain't too bad. I could see drinking this if I could find some kind of locally sold peach iced tea or something. That's not bad at all. I don't like a lot of extra sweetness to my tea, and this kind of hits the spot of my ideal preference. So I'm gonna sit here, finish this, might make another cup. Got enough in there for another cup. But yeah, I think tonight we're gonna camp out again. I did take my sleeping bag in the house there because it was definitely misting in the mornings there for a couple days. And I just didn't feel like coming out here to my sleeping bag starting to get moldy or anything. So I took that in. I'll probably bring that back out and maybe a couple other things. I don't know. I gotta go get the gas one stove and some other stuff that I had put away. But come back out here and hopefully use the little gas one stove. But like I said, even if I gotta run inside and heat some of this stuff up, we got the caviar with veg, which I actually asked someone about this, the caviar with veg, this last week, and they said that I might not even need to heat it up, and that I shouldn't mix it with the other food, that it's some kind of, it might be like a topper, but that I shouldn't mix it in with the meals. They didn't think. I don't know. We'll see. But, alright, I will touch base here in a little bit, and I'm going to go, if this wind doesn't die down the next 20 or 30 minutes, I'm either going to go microwave up some minced sausage or some buckwheat porridge. So, we'll see what I decide to do here in a little bit. Like I said, just getting home and figured that I need to start getting this video wrapped up. I apologize that it's taken so long for this video to come out, Martin. I've been trying real hard to get this MRE done, and knowing as big as it wasn't just going to be a quick sit down in my living room kind of, quick bite of food. This was definitely a much bigger and much thought out MRE for those that are actually using it in service. But after seeing everything of the contents inside one of these meals, it definitely wouldn't be out of question to buy 1 or 2, 3 of them off of the internet there and throw them underneath the seat of your car and know that you got 3 or 4 meals and a bunch of different beverages and stuff just to get you by if you were in need. If that day occurred where you're run out of gas on the side of the road, at least you can make yourself a bite of food. But alright, I'm gonna touch base here in a little bit, and yeah, we're gonna make some food. Thanks. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, so it's been a little while, and I'm hungry, so I wasn't real keen on using the open flame cook stove out in the backyard with the grass and everything. I just didn't really feel like adventuring down that path tonight. So I went ahead and made up the buckwheat porridge and the minced sausage here, and I actually stayed it in the house. Yeah, it filled. Just trying to break it up a little bit. It's all because it comes in these little. This here's the caviar, but because it comes in these packs, they're just so dense and just compacted. So just trying to break it up a little bit there. But this here is the minced sausage, and I'd be lying if it didn't really look like cat food. But it honestly smells really good. And this here is buckwheat porridge. This here has a really, really similar consistency, look, and smell of corned beef hash. Which, I don't know. I've kind of gotten that smell from a handful of different MREs and ration meals lately. So, not lately, just in general. But, anyway. I'm going to take a couple bites here. And, see how it is. Let's start off with some buckwheat porridge. Haven't put any seasonings on it, no sauce, just how it is right out of the little package. I don't know if I've ever had buckwheat porridge. Not even sure what it actually is, so I might look it up. But this tastes pretty much like corned beef hash. Some of that peach drink from earlier. Finish that off in here. No, that buckwheat porridge, like I said, it's pretty consistent with corned beef hash. It has kind of the potato taste to it, the beefy kind of taste. It ain't too bad. Kind of scared, but I'm gonna try this sausage. It's literally just looks like salmon flavored cat food. It doesn't taste bad. The texture of it, it's salty. It's kind of salty like the little sausages that you get in the cans. Kind of soft, over salty. Juices like that. It ain't bad. And of course, all this stuff would taste different if you were actually in need of using this for your calories. And alright, so you mix a little of the sausage in with the beef, or with the a little bit of the sausage there mixed in with the buckwheat porridge is pretty good. I'm kind of scared, but I'm going to see what this caviar with veg is. Oh! You all, did you see that? It literally just got me. It just squirted all over my jeans, my Carhartts, my jacket, my hoodie. That's not fun. It smells spicy. Whoa. It smells like it's in like a hot sauce. I like that. I might be okay with that. That's kind of hot sauce flavor. Oh god. It's a squirter. It's just going everywhere. I'm actually gonna try to scoot you guys back a little bit here. Let's get you guys a little bit. Son of a bitch. Howdy. Welcome back. Move the table. Get you guys to not drop anymore. Alright. Well, I just got splattered with all kinds of stuff. You guys fell off the table. I got just a little bit of this container open, but it's just... There we go. Whoa. It's caviar with a veg, but it's like tomato sauce. I'm just going to pour it out here. Kind of in the middle of everything. Yeah, it's literally tomato sauce. I don't know if that was supposed to be heated up or not. Use my... These are the napkins that it comes with in the MRE. It's just this little tiny napkin thing. Alright, so we're going to try some buckwheat porridge with a little bit of this caviar veg. That ain't too bad. It's kind of a tomatoey. Not really like a tomato paste. It's kind of like an already made like spaghetti sauce. Like where it has a flavor of other things, not just tomato. Try it with a little minced sausage here. That minced sausage is pretty salty. But overall, mixed in with the other stuff, that caviar is caviar with veg. Caviar with veg, yeah. I don't know what the caviar part of it is. But that's actually really good. Like, I'm not trying to add extra points here that aren't deserving. But I could easily see eating this as a regular meal. That's not too bad at all. Little peach drink from earlier. Yeah, surprisingly, this is actually pretty damn good. And the other meal that I had of the MRE, which was beans and beef or something, beans and meat, it was really good too. Like, it had really good flavor. No, this isn't bad. I'm eating this a lot faster than I expected myself to. I kind of figured it was going to be not the greatest meal, but surprisingly, I'm enjoying this. Granted, it was heated up in the microwave, but I figured better to be safe than sorry and not try to have an open flame outside and a bunch of wind gusts. It's actually caught since I came back out from deciding. I came out here to the tent, grabbed the MRE foods, went in the house and microwaved it, and now the wind died. But give it 5 minutes and it'll be back. No, this ain't too bad. Been yakking with Martin off and on a little bit today. And Yeah, that's actually really not bad. Like, I'm actually like surprised about how it tastes compared to what I was expecting. If this was all mixed up with some like noodles, it'd be so good. But I'm gonna finish this up here for sure. I'm not letting this go to waste. This is good stuff. I'm very, very, very impressed by the flavors. Like I said, I just kind of mixed everything in together now. It's got the mint sausage, the buckwheat porridge, and the caviar all kind of mixed into one. And I'm not gonna complain. I'm fairly pleased with this meal. And I am gonna save the teas and the coffee. And I'm getting ready to go out on another camping trip here next few days. Next week sometime. And I'm gonna take that coffee and those teas, and I'll try them out at camp and let you guys know how they are on the next video. But this MRE video definitely took a few extra days to produce and to make and everything else, and I apologize for that, but hopefully with the understandings of you, that any of you that have lost a dog knows that sometimes it definitely takes a couple days to get your feet back underneath you and to continue on with life. It's definitely been a challenge. It's been a struggle, and now that my feet are back under me a little bit and I'm back to recording, I definitely have a bunch of things coming up for the channel, and I'd like a little bit of like I mentioned it earlier in the video there, I'm still having problems with my GoPro batteries. I don't know if they're just getting wore out and old or not, but please suggest, leave a comment down below of any kind of GoPro accessories that you recommend. Tripods, I need a good 5-foot or so tripod, so if anyone can recommend a good one of those, awesome. GoPro batteries, I need a few more of those. If someone could I don't know where to go with the whole battery thing. It's frustrating, it's irritating, and if anyone could throw a little feed my way of, you know, what brands are good, what to stay away from, and everything else, because I'm kind of lost and new to this. And so yeah, give me some feedback. But otherwise, we're going to sign off with this video. It's been a pleasure. Martin Trucking, thank you very, very much for sending this one out. This MRE was absolutely a pleasure to do. The meals were tasty, which is a huge plus. The crackers were stale, but hey, stale cracker in your life ain't always a bad thing. But I'm going to finish off this meal, and I'm going to sign off here with the video, and we will be touching base on the next one. So, thanks all for watching it, and Dirty Boots is out.